We did some journalism this weekend and attended the first ever Overwatch League finals in Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The London Spitfire defeated the Philadelphia Fusion, but who won was probably the least eye-opening detail of all, because when we got there, we couldn't even find seats because the crowd was that sold out. It all felt very real to me, Bo. It all felt like a real, live, sporting type event. And I enjoyed myself. How much did you enjoy yourself?
I did enjoy myself. I left and I thought to myself, it's going to be me in a room full of people like Pablo who have never done to basketball before. But alas, Rick Fox was sitting behind us.
That's right.
Because Rick Fox owns an esports team. No, man, this is like they're on it. Like they are. What was interesting to me about it is that the broadcast and everything else, like all of it is sports stuff. Like they've adopted all the things that we do in the presentation of sports and they've brought it here. And the question as to whether or not it's going to become mainstream, I feel like it's kind of out of our hands. I don't know how long it is going to take, but kids are so charged up about this. We left after it. We had like wristbands that were from it. And we were giving them away to kids. And, like kids we didn't even know were just like, oh my God, thank you so much. And the part that I think that gets lost in this is participatory for them. Like part of the appeal of sports is we've all played sports. This is what they're doing. This is what they play. The difference is though, we'll watch sports even if we don't play them. I don't know if people are going to watch this if they don't play the sport.
That's the difference, is that right now, this event and this league is so catered to the experts, so catered to the people who have done this before, and the cosplay was also there and an amazing fact in this. But it's there for people who get that culture. And I think it's going to take some sort of translation to the mainstream for this to truly grow. But man, the entire trappings of this, it all felt like, man, there is a lot of money here and there is a lot of attention here. And those two things are two ingredients for a first ever league. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but one thing I will say though is you say that the culture here, what I found interesting about it is I don't know what the culture is. Like you looked at the merchandising and the things like that, it's all adopted from other stuff and they're kind of throwing it together.
Scarves, Boston versus everybody
Yeah, like it's all from everybody else. So like culturally, I don't know what exactly it is that we're going to get out of this, but I tell you this, I met this dude, he was an agent. He's an agent for these players. And I wanted to talk to him about it, just find out what the economy of it was. He told me like what the percentage is that he gets, the percentage, on the other stuff that he gets. But he looked at me and he said, one of my players just won here. He was on the winning team where the winning team was 5 people that split $1 million. And he said he felt so good for the guy because he'd had a wrist injury during the season and that how down he was as he dealt with the wrist injury. And then, just going through this and overcoming it and then getting to the place of where that was. And as much as I would love to have dismissed this as being ridiculous, that's what I talk about every day. Like, I can't knock them. That's just what they happen to do.
Right. And you figure that athletes, maybe it's not Overwatch specifically, but certainly when it comes to Fortnite and all these things, there is, at the very least, some skill overlap. If hand-eye coordination is something that is required in sports, it is absolutely required here. And does that mean that the jocks can come over and maybe have an edge on the experts in this field? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see those cultures intermingle.
I get the feeling the last thing those kids want is the regular cool kids to come over and become the cool kids in their world.
I disagree. I think that's how they become the cool kids.